Glenn Feldman.
Darren is telling us to wait right here.
How did you score that fight for Anthony Joshua, Glenn?
Just the way I did.
How did you score? How did you find 7 rounds in the fight? Just wondering if you could explain how you scored 7 rounds in the fight.
I can't. You'd have to talk to my supervisor.
Of course. I saw it as a very close fight. You understand that boxing is scored round by round, not by the fight as a whole. And those rounds were razor close. And it depends on your perspective, how you evaluated the impact and the effectiveness of the punch. So I think that a close fight is not always. I mean, the key thing is, they scored it as they saw it, and that's why we have 3 judges.
I'm sorry.
What did you like about Anthony Joshua's work in the fight that made you score the round 7-5?
I want to just.
Yeah, well, sure.
I mean, it's round by round.
Well, we think. I mean, I think it was smart of Anthony to come out and try to rough up Usyk. He tried to establish his strength and his height and his reach. I think that was very good training and a very good strategy. I think Usyk has exceptional stamina, and he was able to have a little more energy in the last 3 rounds. I think round by round it was very close. I think when you look at the punch counts, it'll be very close. I think I had it, very close. Well, I can't score it because I'm doing other things at ringside. I was happy with how all 3 of the judges scored the fight. I think it was a fair score. It's a type of fight that just based on which side of the ring you sit on, you see a different fight. That's why we have them in 3 positions. And it wasn't I don't think anybody could say it was an overwhelming either punch count or an overwhelming victory. It was a hard-fought, very difficult fight for both boxers. I think they both did great, and boy, I hope they get a chance in their lifetime to do it again. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What's good, family? It's your man, the YB, back once again. So we just heard there from the judge who scored AJ versus Usyk. 7-5 for AJ. Now, as it happens, this cat here, I believe he's the actual one. This Donny here on the screen now is actually the one who did the dodgy score. And this obviously is his boss or his supervisor. So this guy seems shook of giving his actual opinion, which I find a bit dead. Yeah, stand by your opinion, big man. I don't necessarily disagree with it, truth be known. I get it. Yeah, because guess what? There's a reason I don't really like Usyk. Not as a person, but as far as what goes on between the square circle. His shots just don't seem to have no impact. They all it's almost like a hack. He touches you, but it ain't do nothing. Do you understand? He does loads of quick little touch shots, and they obviously score, but it doesn't do anything for me. I'd rather see Canelo step in and wing a huge left hook. That does it for me. I can watch that. Oh, YB or whatever. I don't know. I can't explain it. That's what I like to see. I'd rather see one big banger land than tap, 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 tap and see no real effect. AJ was finished for the last 3 rounds. Finished. Several times I thought he was going to fall over into a big heap on the floor, but Usyk doesn't have no power. He doesn't have none. And when you consider the shots AJ was throwing was having more impact, bottom line. There was more intent from AJ. Don't get me wrong, I'm the first person to say that was a poor performance from AJ as a whole. He lost the fight. Honestly, he lost the fight. He blew it. Yeah, no doubt about it. I did think really, it was close though, I ain't gonna lie to you. To sit there and say AJ wasn't in the fight is a lie. AJ was always in the fight. It was always a case of, in my opinion, AJ lost this fight. Usyk did not win it. Usyk did not take the fight by the scruff of the neck. And I'm not even saying in terms of aggression, but I didn't see him boxing someone's head off. We've seen Floyd outbox someone before. We've seen Floyd completely shut someone down before. I didn't get that vibe. I got the vibe that AJ just wasn't doing enough. I got the vibe that AJ was a bit tired and gave in to his lack of cardio. It was all about what AJ didn't do. I didn't see a whole bunch of Usyk himself For example, Usyk would sit back and then counterpunch. Yeah, you know what I mean? Counterpunching a big, ponderous, slow dude in AJ, you know what I mean, who's knackered is great, but it's kind of like, why aren't you capitalising? Go back and watch it, people. The last 2-3 rounds, AJ was a zombie. And when you've got a zombie in front of you, get the guy out of there. That's what I'm thinking. Look at what happened when AJ was a zombie against Ruiz. He got his ass out of there. Hit him at will. Yeah? Usyk was happy to sit back and just prod and poke for the last 3 rounds. Again, that in my book, that goes against you. When someone's finished, told you before, when you've got a half plate full of dinner on your plate, you finish your dinner. I can't stand people who don't finish their dinner. The same way I was critical against Chris Eubank Jr. when he fought Liam Chiniams. Yeah? Didn't finish his dinner. No good. Very rude. Very disrespectful. Yeah? Liam Chiniam's mum spent all Saturday night cooking that dinner for him. And Eubank didn't want to finish it. Extremely rude. Yeah? When Liam Chiniam's parents invite you over for a Saturday evening brunch, you best finish it. That's what you best do. Eubank, he dancing around the ring, trying to stunt when you got a dude who begging to be KO'd in front of you. AJ was begging to be finished in front of Usyk. Usyk playing around. And that's the problem, you see. At heavyweight especially, that's a whole nother ball game. We're talking about Canelo, but heavyweight, that's the division of banging, is it not? That's what it's supposed to be. And I'm sorry, I'm not down for this whole, YB, but Usyk's come in to turn the game on its head. I'm sorry. If you want to do all that pity-patty crap, yeah, stay at light heavyweight. Stay at cruiserweight. Don't bring that crap to heavyweight. Yeah, the game's already dead enough. We've already got enough people trying to pity-patty around the place. Yeah, let's have one division where people can bang. Okay, now. Do you know what I'm saying? How many more? What are we doing here? Boxing's full of pity-patty guys. It just is these days. These days, 99 people out of 100 just want to try and nick fights on points. So I'm sorry, please forgive me if I don't suck Usyk off for trying to essentially ruin the heavyweight game. I'm telling you now, if everyone boxed like Usyk does box at heavyweight, the game would be shite. It's already shite, but you know what I mean? It'd be even worse. Imagine that. The same way I was critical of Tyson Fury in his old style. No one wants to watch that. Oh, it's so skillful. The thing is, it ain't even that. I don't personally think it's that skillful. I don't think it's that skillful. In my book, it didn't look that skillful. Big ponderous AJ in front of you. And the reason you won was because AJ didn't have no cardio and didn't really want to win. I'm telling you now, if AJ went in there and he was desperate to win, Usyk would have been food. Possibly even stopped. And we saw the outline of that in the 9th round. The old school heavyweights would chew Usyk up. Put Holyfield in there with Usyk, he gets chewed up. I'm sorry, he does. Holyfield would steamroll Usyk. Usyk, I mean, we saw the outlines of it. Look at Chisora. Chisora half steamrolled Usyk. And that was Chisora, who ain't really do nothing. You understand? So I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. AJ definitely lost the fight, but I can see how, on that basis, and the guy said, AJ had a great strategy. His strategy was crap. AJ's strategy was less than half of what it needed to be. It was better than the first fight, but we're talking minimal improvements. AJ needed to make a leap. He needed to go in there and commit. He said all the right things before the fight. I'm going to be willing to die in there. Did any of us see that in the ring? No. We saw a man who got tired and gave in to his tiredness. That's what we saw. And he lost because of that. He lost because of it. Yeah? So yeah, bottom line is, at heavyweight in particular, I mean, Usyk's really only got one fight left anyway. But still, going forward, in my book, from a judging point of view, it is worth something. Landing heavier shots is worth something in the heavyweight division. And the few times, was it enough? No. But the few times AJ did commit, his shots were eye-catching and his shots were heavy. They were heavyweight shots. Usyk's were pity-patty reaction shots. Usyk's he was like he's trying to clean a mirror. Yeah? If you've got a mirror and you're trying to clean it, that's what it was like. He's like, yeah, like that. He's cleaning the mirror. He wasn't ringing anyone's clock. Yeah? If you've got a clock, you can ring someone's clock or you can clean someone's clock. Usyk was doing a whole bunch of cleaning. He just was. Oh, touch. There was no real commitment, which is fine. It's good enough to beat AJ. In my book, it won't be good enough to beat Usyk. Won't be good enough to beat Fury. If Usyk beats Fury, yeah, I will salute him and I'll say I was completely wrong. I'm actually going to bet money Fury knocks Usyk out. I really am. From what I've seen, he ain't all that at heavyweight. He just ain't. It works against people like AJ with no what's the word? It works with people like AJ with no character, with no substance. I think even possibly Wilder, if he can catch Usyk, could even put him to sleep. Albeit, of course, Usyk's head movement is great, so it could be a case of Wilder just can't catch him. But that would be a better test. Wilder will give Usyk a better test than AJ would, I believe. Unfortunately, it looks like we won't get to see it. Anyway, it is what it is. All this shouting off, people in my book are going a bit too far with it, personally speaking. Oh, how can you see that? The rounds were somewhat close. Although, I have to admit, the last three, that is what the problem was. Anyone who thought AJ won the fight, it's the last 3 rounds that are the problem. And that really just goes to show all that ranting off AJ was doing. What are you ranting about? You did nothing for the last 3 rounds. How can you go in there? Let's not forget as well, people, yeah. One of the key principles of challenging for belts is that you have to take the belts from the champion. And one other principle that works within that remit is that if you're taking the belt, you've got to take the belts from the champion. When do you do that? More time. Listen, fair enough. If you establish yourself, if you win the first 10 rounds, for example, then yeah. If you've won the first 10 rounds and established yourself dominant in the first 10 rounds, then yeah. If you want to kind of take less risk in the championship rounds, so be it. But when you've had a 50-50 fight, up until round 9, the fight was 50-50. If you're in a 50-50 fight as a challenger, you best put the hammer down. Not sit back on your laurels. The way AJ was boxing, he was sitting back on his laurels. And I got to say that I told you, man, Robert Garcia is a shit trainer. I told you, man, Angel Fernandez is a shit trainer. Told you that. Oh, YB, Mexican style. Topping them all off. What happened? Angel Garcia or Angel Fernandez, whatever them bum-ass trainers' names are, guess what they were doing in the championship rounds? Oh, great, King. Oh, King, you're doing great, King. You're winning, King. Keep doing what you're looking great, King. Just sucking him off. Should have been screaming in his ear, AJ, you're blowing it. AJ, you are the challenger. You are not just turning up to take the belts home. You must steal the belts from Usyk. Knock this bum out. That's what should have been being screamed in the championship rounds. Instead, they was doing this. Just topping him off 24/7. What the fuck they do? Where are they doing that at? Yeah? You got boxing cuck with Ade. Oh, Garcia was great. Great at what? Great at making my man lose. How can you be great and your man losing? Looking the same as he's always looked. I'm sick of the sucker offers, man. Stop sucking people off. Be honest. You sucked. AJ, you sucked in the fight and your team was shit. Yeah? Your team, once again, gave you no cardio. Oh, Loughborough, I've got all the science bums around me. No cardio. Oops, yeah? No cardio. No grit. And your strategy was shite. And you weren't throwing basic combinations. Basic power combinations were not thrown. Who fault that? Training team and AJ's. No cardio. Who fault that? Training team and AJ's.